Welcome back to In His Mind. I'm going to keep this somewhat short. This is a bit of a Thanksgiving special, so to speak. And yes, it's a little bit of a dreary day. It's still somewhat gorgeous though. The site, very gorgeous. I've got a couple pictures that I'll be putting up later on posts, not in videos. And if I do, it'll be on the background for like an audio clip, that sort of thing. Just absolutely gorgeous pictures that I've taken over the years. Different places, different sites, different jobs. But anyway, this is on my mind, and I want to say it's hard to be thankful the older you get when you seem to be having less in your life. I think a lot of that is tied to social media and the way there's a lot of issues being presented and being forced, or just simply replacing the lack of values that have been taken out of our society and system. That's extremely hard. Less families, less stable individuals who understand consequences of their actions and who are unable to accept responsibility for their actions as well. There's just a lack of everything, including parents too. Anyway, this is supposed to be about my this kitten that I've been looking at adopting for a very long time, and I want to say the military point does not even come close to adopting, except for, are you safe? Are you secure? Is everything fine? That's tied into a couple other situations where making sure people are fine, due to sexual abuse, due to other kinds of abuse that have been happening on. So, first and foremost, when it comes down to adoption, the safety part is paramount. That comes first before everything else, before the cost and all of that. Now, it's very hard to talk about the financial side just because the medical bills and all that, they're going to change depending upon what the problems and issues are. And as of right now, I don't know what all the problems are, except that this kitten was not... Some of the issues with this kitten were tied to just simply being unable to go to the bathroom and take dumps. And I've got a picture that I've been debating upon whether or not putting that as the front of this video. I don't think I will, but it shows 7 fairly large fecal matter, like balls of fecal matter, all the way up into the stomach, and it is absolutely awful. So unable to go to the bathroom, and that actually has been taken care of, thankfully. But there's other issues like being blind. This kitten is blind. It was, I'm trying to think what other issues it has. Those are the only 2 that I was aware of from the get-go, and I think the others need to be actually verified. So me and the other person who I'm talking to about adopting the kitten from, we're going to be waiting to hear back from them as far as what all the issues are and whether or not I can afford this. The only real problem is this kitten is looking like it's going to be terminal. Like there's only a couple months, maybe a year or 2 left to live. It's underweight, possibly malnourished before it was picked up because it was adopted. Oh, there's a deer over there. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get with all of this is that these issues and problems are something you need to take into calculation, because adoption is never going to be that easy of a process, that easy and simple of a process to do. There's a heavy heart involved in all of this when you start realizing all of the costs, the problems, the issues, and then whether or not you can afford it. And in this particular case with this absolutely gorgeous kitten, it took me 5 years to actually accept that I can like cats with my other first cat, Lindsay. I got her in 2015, and I was not a cat person. I just needed a pet, something in my life to come back to. And it's been very much of a challenge there. She's very independent, but there's freedom there with that independence. So having a clingy kitten with this one, just clinging and being all over me, was a new experience that it was overwhelming, but I guess I'm grateful for the experience there. So yeah, adoption can have quite a bit that comes attached with who or what you are adopting into your life. And I'm still going to think about this, just because there's a lot of different angles. Because pets, animals, they're not the same as people. I mean, the problems may be different and probably will be different, but there's a lot of other factors that come into play too. The fact is, sometimes they are suffering to the point they need to be put down. And as a family relative also said, life is precious. It is worth saving and keeping alive. It's like everyone deserves a chance to live. And if they can get to a certain point, then yeah, you should try to. It's as painful as it is. Sometimes people and animals, they just give up. I think that it's not necessarily what's happening that's important too, but it is how we respond to it in the end. Maybe that's the whole entire point of adoption is, whether or not people can take care of kids or pets when these issues and all that pop up. Because sometimes the person you marry is not, or rather, sometimes one of the parents of the child is not who they were when they got married and had changed. Or they were never meant to be a parent to begin with, and they just simply wanted the sex, got it, and then moved on. So, yeah, adoption can happen for a number of reasons. It happened to me, but I don't really have much information on my birth father, so I can't say much about that. Just that he was out of the picture from the very beginning. It's a lot of this hits you hard, and it takes you some time to wrap your mind and emotions around all of this, just because there's a lot of different factors, not just simply, it needs a home. Let me see if I can just give it a home. Though I think we all want a home to go to or to come back to. And a home itself is not just simply an empty building. And if it were as simple and as easy as it just being an empty building, where you could have all your things there that you love, that you were attached to, that were a part of your life, yes, memories are important, and yes, these things we can become attached to, but that doesn't make up what a home actually is. Because you're not sharing your life. You're storing your life. And I think adoption, as far as with the church, God, and all of that, we have all these issues and problems. We have everything here that just keeps us stuck, keeps us from living and enjoying our life. And it makes you think twice as far as especially with the craziness that's happening now. You almost kind of think we don't even deserve a chance to have a family, just because with all the garbage that's happening. It really makes you think as far as if there's a God, a creator out there. What exactly would come into play where we could end up actually having, him as our father and all that? I think that is the beauty of Christianity right there, is that a lot of these answers come into play. It's just very hard to accept them, just because we have to step aside, we have to put ourselves aside, we have to say the cost has been paid. All we have to do is, have a relationship. People want to claim it's following these rules, but that's really not quite the case. It's having a relationship and pursuing that relationship, not just with God, but through his son, Jesus. And some people aren't cut out to be or have relationships, to be in these relationships or to have them. As a soldier, be in the military, taking lives, taking out the enemy, all the time spent practicing shooting rounds downrange, all of that does have an impact on how you look at families, especially if you've been overseas and in actual combat. It's incredibly difficult. Now, on the other flip side, making other people or rather making the kids of the people that you end up shooting become orphans is also hard. I think there's a cost here that needs to be paid that many people don't take into consideration. Anyway, that's it for now. I want to keep this short. I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving, and, well, until next time.